Good morning, students. Welcome to this session. In this session, we are going to look into the measurement of three-phase power using a 2 watt meter method. We know three-phase power. So, what is the total power consumed in three phases? It is the sum of the power consumed in the individual phases. If you have like 3 watt meters, we can connect it to each of the phase and we can measure. That is one way of measuring the power. Instead of using 3 watt meters, we can use 2 watt meters. Using 2 watt meters, we can measure the three-phase power, and for that we have to prove that 2 watt meters are sufficient enough to measure the three-phase power. So in this particular example, we are considering the three-phase load. It can be either a star connected load or a delta connected balanced load. You know what is a balanced load? Balanced load is what? All the phases are having the same kind of a impedance, okay, nature as well as magnitude. Magnitude in the sense the value of the impedance. Nature means if it is RL, all the phase should have RL. If it is RC, you should have all the RC. So we have a three phase balanced load. Okay, in this particular example, we have considered it as a star connected. Whether it is a star connected or delta connected, we can measure the power using 2 watt meters. In this example, we have considered a star connected balanced load. What is the meaning of the balanced load? This Z, the impedance of each of the phase is exactly equal, the value is equal, and also the nature of the load is exactly the same, all these three. Then this is the R phase load, and this is the Y phase load, B phase load, and the voltage across R phase load is VRN. So this terminal is R, this is Y, this is B, where they join together is it is a common node, that is a neutral. So voltage, the phase voltage across this is a VRN. The phase voltage across this phase is VBN, and phase voltage across this is VYN. Those are the three phase voltages. And the current that is flowing here, you have to remember, this is a star connected load. What is the in case of a star connected load, what is the relation between the phase and the line parameter? The line current is equal to the phase current, that is IL is equal to I phase. And what is the relation between the phase voltage and the line voltage? The phase line voltage VL is equal to root 3 times V phase. So IL is equal to I phase and VL is equal to root 3 times V phase. And what is the line voltage? VRY. So between these two terminal, the voltage is VRY, and this is VRY, and between these two terminal VYB, and between this and this VBR. Those are the line voltages VL. And in case, again I am repeating, the phase and the line parameters in case of a star, IL is equal to I phase. So whatever the line current, it will flow into the phase. That is IL is equal to I phase, and line, this VL is equal to root 3 times V phase, means the line voltage is root 3 times more compared to the V phase. And you can see this is the R phase. This is the first wattmeter. Okay. If you understand the circuit diagram properly, then it is very difficult to analyze. We have connected this is a wattmeter. And just to give a brief idea about the wattmeter will have two coils. One is called as a current coil, CC, and second one is the potential coil. So when we are measuring the power, so there are three factors involved. Okay, one is the voltage, one is the current, and one is the power factor. That is, if you remember the three-phase power equation, P is equal to root 3 times VL IL cos phi. So this current coil will carry the current for that phase, and this potential coil, if you see the potential, you can see the current coil of the wattmeter. This is wattmeter W1, this is wattmeter W2. So this is wattmeter W2. If you see the here, the current that is flowing here, it flows through the current coil of the wattmeter. And if you see the voltage, if you see the potential coil, this is the potential coil. It is connected between R and Y. So the current that is flowing in the this wattmeter is IR, and the voltage that is applied across this wattmeter one is VRY. Why RY? See, this will not have any resistance. This node is same as this node. So this R and Y. This is what the connection of the wattmeter one. This is how it is connected between the R and Y. The voltage is VRY. This potential, this wattmeter has a current of IR and voltage of VRY. Similarly, you can see the wattmeter 2, it is connected in B phase. One is R phase and one is B phase, and the join is made on the Y phase. So you can see this is the current coil. What current will flow in this wattmeter 2? IB will flow. And what is the potential or the voltage across this wattmeter between this node and this node? What are those nodes? B and Y. What is the voltage between voltage applied to this wattmeter? It is VBY. Now we know what is the current that is flowing, IR. We know what is the voltage, VRY. Then we have to find angle between this IR and VRY. So then we can directly write the what is the power consumed here. That is V into I into cos phi. Similarly here, we know the current IB and the voltage VBY. We have to find angle between them, and the cos of that angle multiplied with the voltage and the current is the power that is measured by this wattmeter. Now the current through the current coil of wattmeter 1 IR, we already saw that this is IR. So you have to write a description like that. Potential difference across the potential coil of the wattmeter 1, we already saw that VRY, that is the voltage. Then we have broken it into phase. So this is the phase in terms of the phase voltage. If you see, this is R, this is Y. So what is this is R and this is Y. Voltage between this point and this point. What is that? VRN plus VNY. Okay. So plus VNY, I will reverse it. VNY is equal to minus VYN. Therefore, it is VRN plus, VRN minus VYN. So that is what we get here. If you remember in earlier star connection also, we did this kind of analysis. VRY is equal to phasor sum of VRN and minus VYN. And similarly, okay, to obtain VRY, find the phasor sum of VRN and minus VYN. So we have to draw the phasor diagram. So first I will explain you the phasor diagram. If you understand the phasor diagram, rest of the things are easy. First, this is the VRN. This is the R phase voltage. We know that R phase is in line with the reference. It starts from the 0. That's why I have this VRN. And what is the current that is flowing in the R phase is IR. This is the phase current. The phase current in case of here we have assumed it as a load to be RL. Okay, the current is lagging the voltage by angle phi. In case of RL, we know that voltage will current will lag the voltage by an angle phi. So you draw the VRN and a small phi angle lagging, I have the current. Now once we know the VRN, 120 degree lagging, we have the Y phase. This angle is 120 degree. Okay, and VYN, and in VYN also it is the same RL load. Current will lag, so further current will lag, IY will lag by an angle phi. And with reference to VRN, B phase, okay, B phase is lagging by 240 degree. This angle is 240 degree. We draw the VBN, and the current IB will lag by angle phi. So this angle, okay, just see how I am showing. This angle between VBN and IB is phi. This angle is phi. Now we have drawn VRN lagging current IR, VYN lagging current IY. VBN lagging current IB. So this is what we should go progressively. So our phasor diagram is up to here now. Now we have to calculate find the VRY. So VRY is what? Phasor sum of VRN and minus VYN. On the phasor diagram, we are going to draw that. So VRN already I have. Then I have VYN. So minus VYN is on the opposite side. The same length, you take it on the opposite side. This is minus VYN. So this is minus VYN. So what is the angle between VRN and V minus VYN? It is 60 degree because it is going to bisect this, which is 120 degree. So this is this angle is 60 degree. Now phasor sum of VRN and minus VYN. So we draw the parallel line to this and parallel line to VRN. Wherever it is joins, that this line will represent the phasor sum of VRN and minus VYN, that is VRY. And VRY will bisect this angle. This angle is 60 degree and it will bisect it. It will become 30 degree. Now we know what is the current that is flowing through the wattmeter 1, IR. What is the voltage that is applied to the wattmeter 1, VRY. What is the angle between them? So this is the VRY and this is IR. What is the angle between them? Angle between them is this is 30 and this is 5. 30 plus 5. So you can, okay, to obtain VRY, find the phasor sum of VRN and minus VYN as shown in the figure. It is clear from the phasor diagram the phase angle between VRY and IR. These are the voltage applied to the wattmeter 1 and the current flowing in the wattmeter 1. The angle between them is 30 plus 5. Just we saw that. Therefore, the wattmeter 1, we can write it as VRY into IR into cos 30 plus 5. This is how, this is what the wattmeter will read. So, in case of a alternating current, the power consumed is VI cos phi. So, here for wattmeter 1, VRY into IR into cos 30 plus 5. Similarly, we can find what is the angle between the VBY and IB. That is the current through the coil W2. Current through the current coil of W2 is IB. Potential difference across the potential coil of W2. This is wattmeter 2. VBY can be represented as VBN minus VYN. Similar to VRY. Okay, VRY is equal to VRN minus VYN. In case of a VBY is equal to VBN minus VYN. Now I have to find the angle between IB and VBY. You can see first we have to find the VBY, right? VBY is what? VBY is VBN minus phasor sum of VBN and minus VYN. So VBN is already here. You can see VBN is here and also we have drawn minus VYN. So phasor sum of VBN and minus VYN is nothing but VBY. So I will draw a parallel line to the VBN, another parallel line to the minus VYN. Wherever they join, it is nothing but the line voltage VBY. Now I have VBY here, okay, and where is the current IB? You can see this current is IB here, okay, and we know that what is the angle between VBN and VBY? This angle is 30 degree, right? This angle, you can see this is marked as 30 degree, and angle between VBN and IB, we know it is 5 because IB lags the VBN by an angle 5. Now I want to find this angle between IB and VBY. What would be this angle? 30 minus 5. So this angle would be 30 minus y. Angle between VBY and IB is 30 minus 5. Okay. So as shown in the figure, it is clear from the phasor diagram that the phase angle between VBY and IB is 30 minus 5. Therefore, what the wattmeter 2 reading is voltage into current into cos of the angle between the voltage and the current. W2 is equal to VBY into IB into cos 30 minus 5. Now we have two equations for W1 and W2. Now we will represent all the currents and voltages in terms of line voltage. We know that VRY is equal to VBY is equal to VL. Why? It is a balanced load. In case of a balanced load, all these voltages will be exactly equal. And similarly, IR is equal to IB is equal to I phase is equal to IL. That is both are the line currents. Rewriting the equation, W2 is equal to VL IL cos 30 minus 5, W1 VL IL cos 30 plus 5. These are the two equations I get. Now we have to prove that if I have these two wattmeters, if I add their values, that will give the three-phase power. So I will add W2 plus W1. You are going to write the equation VLIL cos 30 minus 5 plus VLIL cos 30 plus 5. Expanding this, VLIL is common. This cos 30 minus 5 is cos 30 cos 5 plus sin 30 sin 5. This is cos 30 cos 5 minus sin 30 sin 5. So this and this will get cancelled. What remains is 2 times cos 30 and cos 30 into cos 5. And what is cos 30? Cos 30 is root 3 by 2. 2 will get cancelled. What remains? Root 3 remains. Therefore, W2 plus W1 is equal to what? Root 3 VL IL cos phi, and we already know that what is this root 3 VL IL cos phi? It is nothing but a three-phase power. Okay, so that is how we prove that the sum of the two wattmeter readings is sufficient to measure the three-phase power. Hence, the algebraic sum of two wattmeter readings gives the total power consumed in the three-phase circuit. So these are very important things. You have to remember these two equations. Okay, very important equation, and you have to remember one simple trick here. W2 reading is always greater than W1. Okay, 2 is greater than 1. That is how you can make a logic in your mind. 2 is greater than 1, so W2 rating is W2 reading is always greater than W1. It can be equal, both can be equal, okay, depending upon what kind of a load I'm talking. So W2 will be either equal or it will be always greater. Why I am saying this is, when they give problems based on the wattmeter, they will not tell which wattmeter is W2, which wattmeter is W1. For example, they will say in the problem, in a 2 wattmeter method, one wattmeter reads 350, other wattmeter reads 100 watt. Find the power factor of the circuit. They will give the questions like that. We are going to solve. In that case, you have to remember 350 watt, whichever is the highest number is the W2. And the W2 equation, you have to remember VLIL cos 30 minus 5. Okay, and W1 is VLIL cos 30 plus 5. So these are two important equations. Now, using the wattmeter reading, we can also find the power factor. How to find the power factor? We know what is power factor. Power factor is nothing but the cos of the angle between the voltage and the current. That is cos phi. Okay. In this case, phi is the angle between the phase voltage and the phase current. Okay. Don't get confused. So this is the power factor. So phase voltage and the phase current, angle between them, cos of angle between them is the power factor. How to find that power factor? Okay. So we already know W2 is VLIL cos 30 minus 5 and W1 is VLIL cos 30 plus 5, and we also know W2 plus W1 is root 3 times VLIL cos 5. Now we will calculate W2 minus W1. So what we will get? VLIL, we expand this cos 30 cos 30 cos 5 sin, plus sin 30 sin 5 minus cos 30 cos 5, and it would be minus. So what would be this? Cos 30 cos 5 minus sin 30 sin 5. Minus of minus becomes plus. So now what happens? This cos 30 cos 5 minus cos 30 cos 5 will get cancelled. We will remain with 2 times sin 30 sin 5. That is VLIL 2 sin 30 sin 5, and sin 30 is nothing but 1 by 2. 2 will get cancelled. What remains? W2 minus W1 is equal to VLIL sin 5. Now we have two equations. One is W2 plus W1 root 3 VLIL cos 5, and second equation W2 minus W1 is VL IL sin phi. If I divide the equation 2 by 1, if I divide the equation 2 by 1 means what? I am going to left hand side will be divided by the this left hand side, right hand side of equation 2 will be divided by the right hand side of the equation. So what I will get, W2 minus W1 is equal to VLIL sin phi divided by W2 plus W1 divided by root 3 VLIL cos phi. So what we get here, this VLIL will get cancelled. What remains is sin phi by cos phi, which is nothing but a tan phi divided by root 3. Therefore, tan phi is equal to what? You take it on the right hand side, root 3 times W2 minus W1 divided by W2 plus W1. So this is another important formula you will remember. Once you know tan phi is equal to root 3 W2 minus W1 divided by W2 plus W1. So with just the wattmeter reading, I can find the tan phi value, and tan inverse of that value is nothing but the angle. Therefore, power factor is equal to cos phi, and what is phi? Cos square bracket, this will come on this side, tan inverse of this whole thing. So if you remember just this formula, that is sufficient. You know, once you find the phi, apply cos on that, that is the power factor. Now, effect of the load power factor on the wattmeter means what? How the load power factor will have the impact on the wattmeter reading means what? If I connect the resistive load, what happens? If I connect pure inductive load, what happens? If I connect the pure capacitive or RC or RL, RLC, the power factor will keep on changing, okay, depending upon what kind of, if we have pure resistance, power factor cos of 0 is equal to 1, power factor is 1. If I have pure capacitor or pure inductor, cos of 90, that is 0. So the power factor will range from 0 to 1 depending upon what kind of a load we have. So here are some angles we are considering. 5, this is the phase angle. If it is 0 degree, 0 degree means what? It is a pure resistance, because angle between the voltage and current is 0 in case of a pure resistance. So cos phi is 1. Wattmeter 2 will read positive. Why positive? You can take the formula. You remember the formula, right? So you put just, okay, here is the formula. This is phi is 0, this is 0. So VL IL cos 30, VL IL cos 30. So both wattmeter will be positive and they are equal. So you have to substitute those values in those equations. So both values are positive and they are equal. Conclusion, W1 is equal to W2. Total power is W1 plus W2. Let us say if it is 60 degree, okay, somewhat like RL kind of a thing. Excuse me. Uh, uh, what would be the cos of the 60.5? If this is 60, what is the wattmeter 2 reading? VLIL cos 30 minus 60, isn't it? Okay, so cos 30 minus 60 is cos of minus 30. Cos of minus 30 is equal to cos of 30. So I get value as positive. The second equation, what is the W1 equation? VLIL cos 30 plus 5. 30 plus 60, that is 90. Cos of 90 is 0. So in case the angle between the phase angle is 60 degree, wattmeter will show something, some positive value, and wattmeter 1 will show 0 reading. And if it goes beyond 60 degree, then power factor would be less than 0.5. Still wattmeter 2 will show the positive value, but this will start showing the negative value, because if I say, let's say 70 degree, okay, cos of 30 plus 70, that is cos of 100, so it will get a negative value. That is how this shows the negative value. In this case, what would be the power? Total power is equal to W2 minus W1. And if you remember, wattmeter, if you have seen, there is no negative values, right? What happens is, the minute the angle, phase angle is greater than 60, this wattmeter, the pointer will push to the left. Okay, it won't show negative reading, it will push to the left. Then what you have to do is, you have to reverse the connection of the the potential coil. Wattmeter, you have to disconnect the circuit, reverse the connection of the potential coil for the wattmeter 1, and then it will show the positive value, but still you have to deduct that value. Total power is equal to W2 minus W1. And if it is a 90-degree, either it is a pure capacitance or a pure inductance, cos of phi would be 0, and in this case W2 will read the positive value, and this will read the negative value, and W2 is equal to W2 is equal to minus W1. In this case both will read the same value but opposite. And you remember, if it is a pure capacitor or pure inductor, whether it is a single phase or three phase, power consumed is 0, because what is the total power? W2 plus W1, and W2 is equal to minus W1, so it will become 0. Total power consumed is 0. Okay, so that is the important thing we looked into, and we will solve some problems based on the three phase load connected in star and delta, problems based on that, and also problem based on this particular concept, that is a 2 wattmeter reading problems. In the 2 wattmeter method, you have to remember three formula. First one is this: W2 is equal to VLIL cos 30 minus 5, W1 is VLIL cos 30 plus 5, and another is tan phi is equal to root 3 times W2 minus W1 divided by W2 plus W1. Always write the W2 first, and remember W2 will always read positive. Its value is always greater than W1. We will see some problems based on the star delta connections. Okay. In a star connected alternator, the EMF generated in each phase is 3810 volts. Calculate the line voltage, total power output when the current in each phase is 300 amperes and the power factor is 0.8 lagging. Now try to understand what is the given problem. A star connected alternator. So alternator means it is a AC generator, or also called as a synchronous generator. So alternator is a generator. It generates the three phase AC power. A star connected alternator, the EMF generated in each phase. So what value they are giving? Each phase means this is a phase voltage. 3810 volts is a phase voltage, and it is star connected. What we have to find? The line voltage, total power output when the current in each phase is 300 amperes, and power factor cos phi is given 0.8. Now write all the given values. E phase is 3810 volts. I phase, the phase current is given. I phase is equal to IL. Why I phase is equal to IL? It is a star connected load. I phase is equal to IL is equal to 300 amperes, cos phi is 0.8. Now, in case of a star connection, we know the relation between the line voltage and the phase voltage. VL is equal to root 3 times E phase or V phase. Okay, root 3 into 3810, we get it as 6600 volt. So this is the line voltage. Then next, what we have to find? Total power, and we know the what is the power consumed in a three-phase circuit? Root 3 times VL IL into cos phi. Root 3 VL we calculated 6600, IL they have given 300, cos phi they have given into 0.8. You will get it as 2743.57 into 10 raised to 3 watt. You can keep it as a watt, or 10 raised to 3 into watt is nothing but 1 kilowatt. You can represent it as 2743.57 kilowatt. Next problem. Three coils, each having a resistance of 20 ohm and inductive resistance of 15 ohm, are connected in star to 400 volt 3-phase 50 hertz supply. So there are three coils, and each is having a resistance of 20 ohm and inductive reactance of 15 ohm. What is this? R, it is a RL circuit. R is 20 ohm, XL, inductive reactance, XL is 15 ohm. So that forms one coil. these such three coils are there, and these three coils are connected in star. So you can see these three coils are connected in star. Each is having 15 ohm resistance, 20 ohm inductive reactance, that is XL, and connected to a 400 volt comma 3 phase 50 hertz supply. One thing you have to remember, whenever we give the source voltage, it is always the line voltage, unless and otherwise it is specified. In the previous example you saw, they specified the it is a phase voltage. Unless and otherwise specified, whenever see we say voltage source as a 400 volt, this is nothing but a line voltage. Please remember that this is a line voltage. VL is equal to 400 volt, three phase, and F frequency is given, F is equal to 50 hertz supply. Calculate what we have to calculate: the line current, power factor, and power supplied. Let us try to find out all those things. So we have a, this is a circuit diagram. This RL, this is RL, this is RL, and it is connected to a three phase voltage source on this side, and VL is 400 volt. IL, so in case of a star connection, the line current is equal to phase current. IL is equal to I phase, and in case of a star connection, VL is equal to root 3 times V phase. V phase is a voltage for one phase. So we are going to analyze with respect to only one phase. We will come back to the circuit diagram, sorry, phasor diagram. You can see this is VRN, the R phase, then VYN 120 degree, and VBN from with respect to VRN, it is 240 degree lagging. Then IL, this IL is what? Nothing but the I phase. This is lagging because it is RL, it is lagging by an angle phi. Now, how to solve this? Phase voltage, we have to calculate the phase. Whenever you are trying to solve the three phase circuit problems, always work on the phase entities. Don't work on the line entities. At the end, you can convert it back to the line. Always work on the phase. So they have given the line voltage. Let us calculate the phase voltage. V phase is equal to VL by root 3. That is 400 by root 3. We get it as 231. And for one phase, okay, the phase impedance Z phase is equal to square root of R square plus XL square. So these are the 20 ohm and 15, XL is 15. We get it as 25. That is the impedance. Then the phase current is same formula. V is equal to IZ, or I is equal to V by Z. Here we have the phase. I phase is equal to V phase divided by Z phase. V phase is 231, Z phase is 25, 9.24. Never apply this formula, is only true. V phase is equal to I phase into Z phase. There is no line. For line, the equation doesn't hold good. Always use the phase. That is, V phase is equal to I phase into Z phase. Then line current, IL is equal to I phase, because it is star connected. Line current is equal to phase current is equal to 9.24. Then how to find the power factor? R by Z, isn't it? Resistance divided by the impedance. Cos phi is equal to resistance per phase divided by the impedance per phase. Therefore, 20 divided by 25, 0.8 lagging. That is the power factor. Now, what is the power supplied? Same power equation, root 3 VL IL cos phi, root 3, 400 is the VL, IL is 9.24, okay, 9.24 into power factor 0.8, that is 5121 watt. So alternatively, you can use this formula 3 times I phase square into R phase, or you can alternatively you can use P is equal to 3 times V phase into I phase into cos phi. Now next problem. Calculate the active and the reactive components of the current in each phase of a star connected 10,000 volts three phase generator supplying 5,000 kilowatt at lagging power factor of 0.8. Find the new output if the current is maintained at the same value but the power factor is raised to 0.9 lagging. So here what we have to calculate? We have to calculate the active and reactive components of the current. So current is lagging the voltage by an angle phi. What is the active component? I into cos phi, that is the active component. What is the reactive component? I phase into sin phi, that is the reactive component. In each phase of a star connected connection is star, 10,000 volts, again it's a line voltage, three phase generator supplying 5,000 kilowatt. So this is the power. Cos phi, power factor is given, cos phi is equal to 0.8. Find the new output if the current is maintained at a same. So we have to find active reactive component of the current and also find the new output. Current is maintained at the same value, but the power factor is raised to 0.9, means current value will remain same, but the angle will increase, so that power factor will angle will decrease, so that the power factor will increase 0.9. P is equal to root 3 VL IL cos phi. This is the power equation, and IL is equal to P divided by root 3 VL cos phi. P is given 5,000 into 10 raised to 3 divided by root 3. VL is the line voltage 10,000 volts, and power factor cos phi is given 0.8. If you calculate that, you get the IL as 360.8 amperes. Therefore, the phase current, this component is for the phase current, each phase. Okay, I phase is equal to IL is equal to 360.8 amperes. Therefore, you can see active component is I phase into cos phi, reactive component is I phase into sin phi. So this is how you calculate these values. Now we have to find what is the power output, means what is the new power if I increase the power factor by 0.9. So same equation, root 3 VL IL cos phi, root 3, this is voltage 10,000 volts, 360.8, that is IL. Now instead of 0.8 we are taking 0.9. Now what is the power that is generated? 5,624 kilowatt. Now you can see earlier it was 5,000 kilowatt at 0.8 factor. By improving the power factor to 0.9, we increase 624 kilowatt of power. So this is how it is done in the reality. They will have in order to have the active power, we need more active power, then they will try to reduce the power factor. As the power factor starts as the phase angle starts reducing, the power factor will improve. Okay, as the power factor improves, the active power that is delivered will also increase. So there are different variations. I have considered all the variations of the problems. Apart from that, there are some additional problems as well. You can refer to those additional problems. I have selected a variety of problems for discussion today. We will see this problem. A balanced three-phase load consists of three coils, each resistance 6 ohm, inductive reactance 8 ohm. Determine the line current, power absorbed when the coils are star connected, and in second scenario delta connected across 400 volt three-phase supply. Okay. So in this case, what we have, the balanced three-phase load, means we have all the phases are actually exactly the same. R is 6 ohm, XL is 8 ohm. What we have to find? IL, we have to find P, capital P, we have to find. First one is the star connection. So in case of a star connection, we know the relation IL is equal to I phase, and V phase, VL is equal to root 3 times V phase. Before that, since R and XL is given, you can calculate the impedance of a phase. Z phase is equal to square root of R square plus XL square. We get it as 10 ohm. Also, you can find the power factor. Cos phi is equal to R by Z. In this case, R phase divided by Z phase, we get it as 0.6 lagging. Now, in case of a star connection, V phase is equal to VL divided by root 3. Therefore, 400 divided by root 3. This is the phase voltage, 231 volt. And what would be the phase current? V phase divided by I phase. V phase is 231, Z phase is 10 ohms. We get it as 23.1 amperes. And IL is equal to I phase in case of a star connection. We get it as 23.1 amperes. Then power absorbed, P is equal to root 3 times VL IL cos phi, or 3 times V phase I phase cos phi. So root 3 into 400 into 23.1 into 0.6, we get it as 9602.5 watt. That is the power consumed if it's a star connection. Now, in case of a delta connection, again we have to find what is the line current and the power absorbed. In case of a delta connection, we know the phase current is, the line voltage is equal to phase voltage, and line current is root 3 times the phase current. So VL is equal to V phase and IL is equal to root 3 times I phase. That is in the delta connection. Therefore, V phase is equal to VL is equal to 400 volt, because this is connected across a 400 volt supply, which is nothing but the line voltage. So in case of a delta, phase and line voltages are same. Therefore, V phase is equal to VL is equal to 400. I phase is equal to V phase divided by Z phase. That is 400 divided by 10, 40 amperes. And IL is equal to the line current is root 3 times I phase in delta connection. Root 3 into 40, that is 69.28. Now the power equation is exactly the same. Root 3 times VLIL cos phi, root 3 into 400 into the current 69.2, and the power factor 0.6. How we got this power factor? R by Z, that we calculated initially. Cos phi is equal to R phase by Z phase. So resistance is 6 ohm, impedance is 10 ohm. We get it as 0.6 lagging. So this is the power consumption, 28,799. So we have one more problem. Three phase 400 volt. This is the line voltage, 50 hertz. F is equal to 50. Supply is feeding three phase delta connected load. So here we have the delta connection with each phase having a resistance of 25 ohm. R is equal to 25 ohm, and inductance is given 0.15 Henry. Inductance is 0.L is equal to 0.15, and C is given 120 into 10 raised to minus 6 farad. They are connected in series, so it is a RLC. So each phase is having RLC, 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 three phases, and they are connected in delta fashion. And what we have to find the line current IL, volt amperes. So volt ampere is what? Voltage into current. Active power is capital P. Reactive power is the volt ampere reactive. Okay, that is into sin phi. This is into cos phi. This is into sin phi. This is voltage into current. So if you remember, we talked about the power triangle. Using that power triangle, we can identify these things. First step is calculate XL and XC. XL is equal to 2 pi FL. We get it as 47.1 ohm. XC is equal to 1 by 2 pi FC. All the values are given. We get it as 26.54. Now, the net reactance X is equal to XL minus XC. 47.1 minus 26.54, we get it as 20.56. And we know Z phase. Okay, for each phase impedance, square root of R square plus XL minus XC square. Here they have calculated as X. The general formula is square root of R square plus XL minus XC square. If you substitute all the values, the impedance of a per phase, we get it as 32.37 ohm. Once we know the impedance, we can find the power factor. Cos phi is equal to R by Z phase. R is 25 ohm divided by 32.37, 0.772 lagging. So it will behave more like a RL circuit, because XL is greater than XC. Then phase current, I phase is equal to V phase divided by Z phase. We get it as 12.36 amperes. Line current. Remember what type of a connection we have? Delta connection. In case of a delta connection, line current is equal to root 3 times the phase current. That is root 3 into I phase. We get it as line current as 21.4 amperes. What is the total active power? P is equal to root 3 VLIL cos phi. We get it as 11,446 watt. And apparent power, you can from the power triangle, if you see, we can have it as P divided by cos phi. Why P divided by cos phi? If I remove this part here, what we remains is the volt into current, that is apparent power. We get it as 14,830 volt amperes. And from the power triangle, one side is P, one side is Q, and the hypotenuse is S. We can write the reactive power Q is equal to square root of S square minus P square is equal to, you will get this much value, that is 9,430 VAR. So these are the different problems we saw. On the similar lines, you will get the problems in the final exam.